All right, today was a great day for me. I was one and done on Workhorse. So this was my watch list today. I also had SQ, but SQ was a secondary sort of thing for me. If these didn't have good price action, I was going to check out SQ, but there was enough going on. So anyway, my only trade was on Workhorse here. And so if we look at the chart, I have it pulled up right here. You can kind of see on the 5 minute, you can see that I got in at 1602 and my last partial was at 1480. So I got $1.20. There was more left in the move, but by the time I got my last partial, my share size was pretty small. I had already had an amazing day, and I was good. But if I was more patient, there was still some more room left to run here. Okay, so in the beginning here, it was kind of strong, hit this level, came back down, and I started watching it here, and I saw this big wick here, and we had kind of thrown this hammer, and so once around this candlestick, I was watching it to see how it handled these levels here. I was actually watching it for a potential long, and this green line is almost exactly this. Or excuse me, then on the 50 here, I thought might actually be support. So anyway, the point is I was watching it actually to be a long at this point, but it fell through all these moving averages and it got near VWAP, and I said, well, if the $16 mark fails and it gets right around VWAP, I think it's actually going to be a short. So I initially started watching it for long, but decided if it broke through 16, it was probably a short with these as some resistance above. So it did that, and I got in at 1602 because it did break the $16 mark, kind of bounced back up a little bit, and then fell right back through. So I got in here, loved my entry, and then you can't really tell. The 1 minute chart kind of makes it look like this happened slowly, but it actually dropped about 15 to 25 cents, somewhere in that range, really quickly. So these partials happened real quick on that downward spike. And then it kind of started stagnating because on this 5 minute chart, this dashed line right here, this is actually the pre-market low. And it started stagnating around here. And I feared that it was going to bounce back on me. So I went ahead and took another partial here. But when it held, went down, got back to pre-market low, I took another. And you can see this was putting up a decent fight for a while. So it actually bounced off of it, came back up. I had a small position left. Well, about 20% of my position left. Or no, at this point I had 40% of my position left. It bounced back up, came back down. When we broke through the low of pre-market here, I took another partial at around 1534, I think is what this was, and then I still maintained about a 10%, perhaps around 10% of my position, and I considered adding. Actually, I almost added right here when it stagnated for a while, but I said if it gets to 1550, I'll add. But it didn't make it, and I didn't feel like comfortable adding it at such a weird price in the 1530s. So I didn't do an add. It came down, and I was really shooting for 15. Level 2 was screaming that it was going to make it to 15. And so I was really holding for that. When it got to 15, it just hovered there for a sec. For several seconds, and so I didn't sell out of my position immediately as I initially planned because I thought if it breaks 15, it might just drop. And this move happened really quick. So once it broke through 15, it dropped another 25 cents pretty quickly, and I went ahead and got all out at around 1575. So really great trade, had a great day. But you can see that if I would have been a little more patient, I could have got another 70 cents out of it if I wanted to. Now my position's pretty small, so at this point, so it wouldn't have made a massive difference, but I could have been a little more patient. But that was my day. Hope you guys caught this trade or a similarly good trade as well, and I'll be back at it tomorrow.